Wrestling with God. The next part of Jacob's story includes the greatest wrestling match of all time. But before I tell you about that wrestling match, let's have one of our own. Each of you choose a partner. When I say go, lock fingers and try to thumb wrestle. I'll give you 35 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare thumb war. 5, 6, 7, 8, this will be a piece of cake. Oh no, you win. Okay, now I gotta read the room. Bye. Were any of you able to pin your partner's thumb? Were any of you wrestling with somebody who was much bigger or smaller? What would it be like if you would wrestle like that all night long? Jacob's wrestling match was very different from yours because he was wrestling with God himself. It happened when Jacob was on the move again. He was now on his way home from Mizpah at Uncle Laban's house. He had acquired great wealth, but was still afraid to face his past. Remember, he had lied to his brother and father, stealing his brother's blessing from him? When he last saw his brother Esau, his brother had been so angry, Esau wanted to kill him. Jacob had a plan. While traveling, he sent scouts to see if his brother was near. They returned and told him that Esau was going to meet him with 400 men. Jacob wanted to soften Esau's anger, so he sent a large gift of riches, camels, sheep, cows, and donkeys, to soften his anger. And then he divided his family into 2 groups. He thought that if one was captured, the other could escape. Jacob stayed behind as night fell. While he was alone, someone appeared and wrestled with Jacob until morning. He even touched Jacob's hip socket and made it fall out of joint. Still, Jacob wrestled on. The man said, "Let me go." Jacob, who probably knew by now who he was wrestling with, replied, "Not until you bless me." The man asked, "What is your name?" The man replied, "Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel." In the morning, Jacob limped across the river, then moved to the front of the family and possessions. He was a changed man. Jacob met Esau first before everyone else. Esau ran to Jacob, and they both wept, kissed, and hugged. Jacob and his family were restored. He was finally home. For the rest of his life, Jacob walked with that same limp, and he carried the name Israel with him as a forever promise that he had wrestled with God, lived, and received his blessing.